Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. All right, this is it, guys. This is it. The question remains: are we ever going to unlock at least one Jedi tonight? Let's find out, shall we? So heading over to HasbroPulse.com. We are looking to unlock tier number 1, Coleman Trebor, the exclusive carded figure at 10,000 backers. And earlier today, we had hit quite the milestone at 9,489 backers. Hitting refresh right now with only 4 minutes left to go. We are at 9,704 backers. This is going to be a photo finish, everybody. This is going to be an absolute massive photo finish. There is only 2 minutes left to go, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And at this stage, I think it can be, I don't think it can be denied that this will be one of the most expensive Haslabs in history, with as few, or in this case, no stretch goals reached. If we don't do, if something drastic doesn't happen in the next 1 minute and 46 seconds, we're going to cut this down, everybody. Any predictions? Hitting refresh. We're up to 9,718 backers. Can we unlock the very, I don't know about the very first, but can we unlock Coleman Trebor, Attack of the Clones, one of the fallen Jedi? So he looks like a freaking dinosaur, man. He is a dinosaur, man. He is a dinosaur, man. We are looking to unlock Coleman Trebor, the dinosaur man. This one's going to be a really close battle. I think this one's going to be right to the finish. Good to see you guys. All about the villains. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing tonight? Yo. Torque Cartel won't make 10K. I very much doubt it. All right, no problem, Mario. No Chewing is in the house. What's going on, No Chewing? How you doing tonight, brother? 3 minutes to hit that unlock. Man, it's going to be rough. It is going to be a rough situation right now. Any predictions, guys? Do you think we're actually going to hit it? Because honestly, we're down to like a minute left. I don't know. I don't know if this is even. I at this point, I am very, very scared. I was skeptical about reaching the actual finish line. To be perfectly honest with you, I had no aspirations of actually even reaching the finish line. But congratulations to everybody who's backed this. I mean, wow, what a campaign! It has been the strangest campaign in recent history. But it still begs the question: are crowdsourced projects have they reached their lifespan? Especially with like big price, or was it something else that made this as it is right now? Heading back over to Haslab, let's find out. We are now. It's over. It is. Oh wait. Yeah, it's over. It's over, guys. It is over. Hitting refresh. Wait, oops, we're sorry. What? What do you mean, oops, we're sorry? What are you talking about, oops, we're sorry? Wait a second. Where'd it go? Whoa, what just happened? Hello? What just happened? Where's the gunship, guys? What happened? What happened? Where did it go? Can somebody help me here? I'm getting an oops, we're sorry situation here. What's going on? Back this project. Oops, we're sorry. Whoa, what's going on? What is happening, guys? What just happened? This what's going on? Does anybody else see this? What is happening? 9734 on my end. 10,001 is my final is the guess of the final. Junkyard Crafts and Builds, 30 seconds. Plus, if they added the international or not already. Chewy, I'm surprised they've made it this far for a single day. It closed at 9,747. Yeah, okay, but it disappeared. It's still at 1158. Hasbro bringing Hasbro. Junkyard Crafts and Builds. This is some crazy stuff. Site crashed. The site can't. It was so slow. How could it crash? All about the villains. This could be one of those shenanigan moments where it funds. Junkyard Crafts and Builds trying to get more in the background. It's back. Okay, it's back. Here, can refresh. There we go. All right, it has officially ended, guys. It has officially ended. The campaign is over. Hitting refresh again. Yes, it has officially ended. And the results are in, everybody. We did not reach, according to this, 9,776 backers. There's probably still another 10 minutes to go before every one of the credit cards is fully charged. But as of this moment, Coleman Trebor has not been unlocked. Coleman Trebor has not been unlocked. So don't know what happened here. We literally had a crash. Hitting refresh again. And we're still having a crash. Let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, it appears that this is the final number, guys. 9,776 backers of an 8,000 backer goal. We did not reach any of the tiers. This will be shipping fall of 2026, and man, this is one expensive Haslab. This one is going to go down in the record books as one of the most expensive Haslabs that did not achieve any of its stretch goals. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is something, man. That is crazy. Congratulations to everybody who did purchase this gunship. I'm being serious about that. Congratulations to everybody who made this happen. This was not an easy campaign. This was not an easy campaign at all. And according to the note showing, it was 9698 on the app. It has actually reached 9776. Refreshing it again just to make sure. It is right now at 9776. Junkyard Crafts and Builds. The official number is 9776. All About the Villains. Refresh. Yeah, 9776. It is well short of the $10,000 backer goal for Trebor. I can Ijin. Rather pay for a Mr. Sinister Armando. All About the Villains. This is beyond insane. $500 with 0 tiers. Yeah, it's a rough one. It is a rough one. Shinovo. That's wild. Collectors are crazy for paying that much. This is definitely going to be an interesting situation on the aftermarket. I'm not sure how well this is going to be received. This is definitely something of an interesting situation here. Go for it, painting. Hello, what's going on? What's going on? Go for it, painting. So yeah, I'm so perplexed. I'm so perplexed and just absolutely. This campaign is just so strange. I mean, the price tag alone was prohibitive. The price tag was incredibly prohibitive. I mean, let's not beat around the bush about this. This was not a cheap Haslab. This was a very you really had to had to want this item. It is also one of the rarest. Probably going to be done as one of the rarest Haslabs as well. So this one is going to be a very interesting to where it lands in the history of Star Trek collectibles, Star Wars collectibles. Whoa, boy, easy guys, easy, calm down. Star Wars collectibles is going to be a very interesting footnote in Star Wars collectibles. 0 tiers unlocked. We did not reach the minimum funding goal for Coleman Trebor. The Dinosaur Man, we missed out on him just under 200 and what was it? 225? Literally 224. We missed him by 224 backers. 224 backers. We missed him by 224 backers. Let me just double check on that before I really start because I'm terrible at math. So 77. So hold on. That's it. 9776 minus 10. Yeah, 224. We literally missed Trebor by 224 224 backers. Wow. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to basically say, hey, what about the international numbers? I honestly don't know. But a lot of people have been saying that that was probably already accounted for. So if you're just joining us, guys, we missed tier 1. We missed all the tiers, actually. None of the tiers have been unlocked. Coleman Trebor has not been unlocked. Neither has... How come this thing's not moving? Neither has Say Tin at 12,000 backers. And finally, we missed Agan Kolar at 14,000 backers. So yeah, now the question will continue to be asked. You know, is it worth it? Is the gunship right now, as it stands by itself, with 2 clone troopers, accessories, you know, what are they called again? World War II style, you know, decals on the side of the gunship, you know, missiles, all the additional accessories, flight stand. Is it worth $449 without any of the tiers? It fared a lot better than the Rancor. The Rancor didn't even get anywhere near its minimum funding goal. But at $449, this is definitely going to be talked about in collector circles for a while. There's been a lot of negativity. There's been a lot of negativity about this particular fund. A lot of people were just not. A lot of people just did not see the value. I didn't see the value, and I was there. I've seen this firsthand multiple times now, not only in San Diego but also here in Toronto, and it is massive. It is a massive ship. It is an absolutely massive ship, but 20% bigger. Does that mean it costs, you know, 200% more, 300% more? I mean, this thing is literally when the original one came out, right? What was it, like $60? I think $70, right? And now they're $449. Where does that price tag come from, guys? Somebody let me know where that price tag comes from. Many people believe that price tag comes from the fact that the current in-box collectors, if you find one in box, it is $400 in box for the original vintage the original vintage release back in 1997, 1980, whatever it was back then. So right now, if it's in box, it's about $400. So that's where this number comes from. That's what a lot of people are saying. But is that where it actually comes from? Is it the design and the development? Is it the plastic that it's used to actually make it? Is it the engineering? Right? Is it the fact that it's 20% bigger? What actually goes into the $449 price tag? And it's fascinating to me that the Marvel fans are unwilling to, you know, fund something which they obviously don't see as value. Whereas a lot of people were basically like, no, this will fund. This will 100% fund. But we're probably not, like, people were just resigned to the idea. Many people were resigned to the idea that they were not going to get the stretch goals, which was boggling my mind. It was boggling my mind because the argument has always been, when you're backing a Haslab project, when you're backing any crowdsourced project, you should be backing the item itself. The stretch goals are just bonuses. You should not be thinking about backing the item and the bonuses together, because that's not how that works. Or is it how it works? It is a really weird sort of idea when it comes down to that type of mentality. But right now, that mentality is going to be tested. That mentality is 100% going to be tested, because at this stage, this is an example of a Haslab that did not reach its minimum, its tier. It did not reach its stretch goals. It reached its minimum funding goal. Just barely, by the way. I think it can easily be said that this just barely made its minimum funding goal. And now, congratulations to everybody who purchased it. Seriously, congratulations to everybody who purchased it. But now you have, and this is a rare item, guys. This is under 10,000 units. Under 10,000 backers. Sorry, I actually don't know how many units were sold, but under 10,000 backers brought this to fruition. And it's going to be interesting to see where the secondary market takes this. 9,776 backers, hitting refresh, just in case. It is pretty much locked at 9,776. Fascinating. Toy Cartel, it closed at 9,747. It actually went up a little bit from there. All about the villains, 9,776. Go for it, painting. Hello, good to see you, brother. Cyber Rat 629. Obviously, it wasn't well received. I don't know. Like, I think that is an interesting statement. That is a very interesting statement. I think that there are a lot of collectors who bought this. I also think that there are a lot of flippers who bought this. A lot of people who thought that this would actually be a good investment. I do believe that, but there's nothing wrong with that. Finway in Glorium. Finway in Glorium. Are foreign pre-sales added before or to the count or after? It is pretty much done. I don't think we're going to get any more. Normally, that question is asked multiple times throughout the campaign, and I think that right now this is the count. The international backers have already been added, and a lot of people do have suggested that the reason it got as high to the minimum funding is because of those international backers, thus getting it to the minimum backing and giving us an extra FOMO boost, as people are calling it. All about the villains. I truly hope that the number does get increased, because at the end of the day, they're going to make more than 10,000 just for the MLQ, and that's just $200 off. So they might as well offer the first tier. There are well more than 10,000 of these made, because there have been multiple sales. The number here is not representative of the number of units. The number here is representative of how many backers there are, right? And if every backer bought 2, you can double this number, right? You can literally double this number if at least let's do it this way. If at least 50% of people bought 2, right? Like, stores or whatever like that. So let's just go by this number. So let's say that there's 9,776, right? Divided by 2. Let's say half, right? So 4,888 bought 2 units each, right? That gets you back to 9,776 on 2 units, but then you add, right, the 4. You add the other half, and it's about 14,664 units, right? That's spacious. That's spacious reasoning. But there are people who bought 2 or more. So this number is not indicative of the final number of units that are actually out, that will be actually created. Big Rib, what's going on, brother? How are you doing tonight? Torkatel, do you think we're going to get the original trilogy vehicle for the next one? I'm not sure. Right now, I'll be honest with you. I think Hasbro has to take a long look at these 2 particular Haslab projects and how they actually went about, their campaign. They really have to take a deep look as to how the Snowcat literally was on the trajectory for failure, but then right at the last minute, it funded and extremely well, thus giving you an indication of how strong the G.I. Joe brand really is. But then you also have to question, why 2 Haslabs at the same time, right? I think that's the bigger question here. Why were there 2 Haslabs running at the exact same time, pretty much overlapping each other? Because we have seen in the past that when you overlap Haslabs, in the case of the Rancor, the Sky Striker, and the Proton Pack, that was 3 Haslabs running at the same time. It was a recipe for disaster. And it seems to me that this Haslab in particular suffered incredibly because of that. I have a funny feeling that if these 2 Haslabs had run at least 2 months apart, I think that there would have been a very different outcome on this one. All about the villains. Tarkatel, I expect them to pause on Star Wars Vintage. I think that's actually a very prudent choice at this point. David Lomeli, not worth it at all, explains why it was barely past the threshold to get it funded. Eggplant Comics. Has any other project ever funded with no tiers? That is a good question. I think the answer is actually no. I do believe the answer is no. Somebody can correct me in the comments section, but I do believe. Actually, wait, no. I think the katana. I think the katana did not reach. Did the katana even have stretch goals? Now that I'm looking at it, somebody let me know. Did the katana have stretch goals? And if it did it make all of its stretch goals? I'm curious to find out because I know the katana had a rough ride. Seth Amateur Hour. Yo, everybody, what's going on, Seth? No Chewing saying hi to Seth. X-Men Comics, get ready for a wave of cancellations. I'm not sure about that. Although there might be unpayments. I don't think there will be cancellations, but there might be unpayments. We'll see what happens. Eggplant Comics, with no tears, isn't it basically a retail release? No, this cannot possibly be a retail release. This is way too expensive for a retail release. So with no tears, this is basically a really expensive Haslab. Star Wars collectors are more diehards. Again, I'm questioning what the percentages of Star Wars collectors and what the percentages of actual retailers are on this particular crowdfund. I am curious to find out how that works. Collective Phil, facts all around, my friend. Facts all around. Dave's Dimension. Congratulations to all who purchased it, backed it, but respectfully, I think this may be writing on the wall for Star Wars Haslabs. Hot take for sure, just my personal opinion. It is going to be the Star Wars team has to take a long look at this particular case and whether or not this was actually something of a dream project. Was this a dream project, or was this just a project to celebrate the 30th anniversary, or whatever it is now, 30th anniversary of Return of the Clones? What is it right now? Sorry, Attack of the Clones. Yeah, it was 2007 for the 30th anniversary. So are we Are we at the 40th anniversary? That can't be. Wow, the 40th anniversary of Attack of the Clones was released in 2002. So hold on. If it was, so where are we right now? 2025 minus 2002. Yeah, we're not even at the 20th. We're not even the 23rd anniversary yet. This is going to be, wow, crazy. It's crazy. Attack of the Clones was released in 2002. So hold on. Are we having an anniversary? I don't understand. 2025 minus 2002. Yeah, it's only 23 years. I don't even understand why this thing was. I'm very confused as to why this thing was even Haslab's. Like, why was it even? The anniversary just doesn't make any sense. No chewing. I don't think it's a very cool ship for diehard clone fans. Movie and series. I don't think it's a very cool. I do think. My apologies, no chewing. I do think. Yes, of course. I mean, I loved Rebels. I loved Rebels. I did enjoy Attack of the Clones to a certain degree. I just honestly do believe that it was one of the worst of the series. Sean Forster. Sorry, Jay. Backers equals units. Yes, it equals units, but again, this is not like a backer can buy 5. A backer can buy 10. Right? There's a minimum, I think, but a backer's minimum backing is 1. Do you understand what I'm saying, Sean? Minimum backing is 1, but if you want to buy 5, then this number doesn't correlate to how many units are going to be produced. Do you get it? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's just that's not how backers are not numbers for units. That's not how that works. The toy box. We got to get Imperial Shuttle next. Then again, we'll be looking at Star Wars 50th. That would be a solid time for a Death Star or a Sandcrawler. That sounds about right. All about the villains. G1 6-inch collectors versus Star Wars Vintage Collection. Interesting. Cobra Commander. The Ghost I can buy on eBay for less than what I paid to Hasbro. Whoa, I did not know that. Is that true? Wait a second. I'm not sure about that. Hold on. eBay. Come on. eBay.com. Why is it eBay? The hell? eBay.com. The heck? All right, let's have a look for Haslab Ghost. My computer is literally having a conniption. My goodness. Holy crap. Is that true? Wow. That's interesting. But I'm wondering if these ones do not include all of the stretch goals. I'm wondering if these ones do not include all the stretch goals. What was the actual MSRP on the Ghost? The Haslab Ghost. The Haslab Ghost's MSRP, when it was funding, was $255 USD. Sorry, no, my bad. It was $499 USD. Yeah, interesting. So yes, you can actually buy a Ghost brand new, $450 right now. However, does it come with all of the stretch goals? That's an interesting question. This one too, the actual Haslab here as well. And are these brand new or are these actually opened units? Wow, that's crazy. I did not know that you can actually. This is kind of crazy. Hold on for a second. Let's just double check this out. All right, this is the Haslab Ghost, and here's the problem. This guy has 5. This guy has 5 to sell, but I'm fairly certain, unless it's listed here. This is crazy. Hold on. Includes all tiers. Whoa! Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. How much is the shipping on this? No, there you go. $130 shipping. Not much profit to be made there. I mean, it's a bit of profit, but it's not much. Yeah, if anybody's interested in the Ghost, you can still buy at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. According to this, this guy has multiple pieces. Wow, that's interesting. And somebody just wants to sell the figures at $305. You guys he's crazy. He's nuts. This one here is $349.99. I'm pretty sure. I'm rather certain this one has no tiers. Hold on. What do we got here? How come it's doing that? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Yeah, it says all 6 figures. What? Are you serious? Okay, that's crazy. Was it opened though? Yeah, it was opened. Oh, okay, wait. Yeah, he opened this thing. There they are. I mean, he's showing it all off. But no, this is just for the figures. Yeah, this is just for the figures themselves. This is not for the Haslab Ghost. Okay, that's where you gotta read the description. You have to read the description. Yeah, but you can pick up a Haslab Ghost right now for $450 or best offer. Wow, that's crazy. And you can even use Klarna to get it for the wow. That is fascinating. I was doubtful. I was doubtful of that comment. I was doubtful of that comment at all. But apparently, according to oh man, that's crazy. That is nuts. Cobra Commander, you are correct. That is crazy. Dave's Dimension. Rebel's lightsaber, Rancor, and with this one barely making it, there's a lot to be said. But I agree with Star Wars team needs to take a hard look at everything. Yep, I agree. Lamar Avery, nope, no tiers unlocked. You're absolutely correct. All about the villains. It's about this. It's all about which series will be received after better 4, 6, or 1 to 3 for next Haslab. It's going to be interesting. Lamar Avery, but with only 10,000 produced, they can go up in value. There are more than 10,000 produced. There were more than 10,000 produced. Almost certainly there were more than 10,000. I bought 5. I mean, yeah, that's how that works. No chewing. I want them to go big Ewok Village. That would be awesome. That would be freaking awesome. Red Force, let's see the news tomorrow. Either way, this will be a super limited item. Absolutely. Anything under 20,000 is considered super rare. Will Norris, I think you have it backwards. The number of units, there could be fewer backers. I know that when I have over multiple Haslabs past, the backer count went up 2 or 3 each time. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, that could have been 5 or 6 backers buying at the same time, Will. The connotation, right, of backers means one backer is me, and I can buy 5. Okay? And you don't have to take my word for it. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna argue with you. But in my opinion, and again, we can go back and forth forever, but in my opinion, there's gonna be way more than 10,000. Okay? And we don't have to argue. It's not a big deal. Cobra Commander, there's a complete ghost on eBay for $490 local pickup in my city of Los Angeles. Insane. That's crazy. Red 460, probably good investment for resellers. Not according to Cobra Commander. He's got a point. Cobra Commander has a pretty good point. No chewing. Shipping price is a lot at $130. Yeah, but when you think about it, the Ghost should not be selling under retail. It retailed for $499. You know what I mean? That's pretty crazy. And that also leads me to wonder, do they raise their prices based on the previous Haslab? That's a terrible idea. The Falcon 23. If it's backers rather than the units sold, the Hiss rather Dragonfly have a larger production run than most of the retailers' available vehicles. Correct. Absolutely correct. That is 100% correct. If it's backers rather than units sold, the Hiss, Rattler, and Dragonfly have a larger production run than most of the retail available vehicles issued. You're not wrong. But I think that if you look at the vehicles on retail, there are actually a hell of a lot of them out there. Grad 460. If this is under 10,000 units, you will make money given time. This is well, I don't know. That's still not. There's no guarantee of that. Prices fluctuate up and down all the time. All the time. Lamar Avery. Seems like real value in these Haslabs are exclusive figures that are included. Yes, that seems to be very much a reality. Figures worth $350 and Ghosts worth $100. LOL. That's funny, right? But it wasn't that. It was just the figures themselves. All about the villains. Either way, the Ghost with all tiers, that's a crazy price. It is. If I had the money, I would do it, but I don't. Will Norris. How much are people going to pay for 2 generic white clones? They're not. I don't think they're even carded. I'm not even sure they're carded at all. Darth G. Sandcrawler and Echo base playset. That would be a really good. That would be very, very good, I think. All about the villains. Imperial Destroyer, AT-AT, Episode Naboo tanks, gun vehicles. These are some really good options. Grand 460. If people want this thing, then they got it. It's overpriced and it should be an info point for Hasbro. Star Wars is a weaker product. I'm not sure it's Star Wars is a weaker product, or if Star Wars needs to reevaluate what they're actually doing. Lamar Avery. Oh crap! I never noticed that. I assume backers and units are the same thing. No, they're not. Backers are backers, and you can buy 5 or whatever the limit is. Right? You can buy 1 to 5 or 10. I don't know how many the limit was this time, but you can buy whatever the limit is. So it's possible that this is way more than double. Right? It's possible, but I doubt it. Excellent comments. If each backer only counts as 1, regardless of the number you ordered, you can hack the system by making an account for everybody in your household. The answer is yes. But why would you at $449? Well, guys, I think the debate will continue with this particular Haslab. It is going to be polarizing. It already has been polarizing. And we just have to wonder. Please leave in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about this overall situation? The backer count is incredibly low on this one. Like, they didn't even reach its minimum funding goal. Hitting refresh just to double check, it is locked at 9776. So I think the Haslab team, the Star Wars Haslab team, has a lot of thinking to do on this one. 20% bigger, is that really a selling point? I don't know if this was some sort of legacy thing. I don't know why they released this one. I think it had something to do with the fact that the existing one right now is selling for $400 plus, right? If you were trying to get an inbox version of the original version released back in the day. But suffice to say, this was not a popular Haslab. I think we can safely say that this was not a popular Haslab. And I think the real question as well Has any Haslab ever funded without any tiers, without any stretch goals? That'll be an interesting question. Guys, let me know in the comment section below. What were your thoughts about this Haslab? Was it a success? Was it a failure? Was it unfortunate that it was actually going parallel with the G.I. Joe Haslab? And what are your thoughts about Hasbro and their current state with these Haslabs? Is it time to take a break? Is it time to take a step back and look at what they're doing? And is it a situation where you really should consider not running two Haslabs virtually at the same time? Guys, let me know those comments in the comment section below. Toy News continues 2025, everybody. As a matter of fact, my good friend and I, Danny Green, will be heading to Toyland at 2025. It's going to be a great time. I hope to see you all there. We're going to be debuting El Dragoon at the show. Well, not debuting, but we're going to showcase the latest developments of El Dragoon, our new IP and action figure comic book. And we hope to see you guys at Toyland at 2025, September 26, 27, 28. Hope to see you guys there. Guys, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Last comments before we log off. LeVar Avery. So I should have had 4 people to know to purchase the gunship, and I'd pay for them. So 5 backers instead of me purchasing 5. I don't know what the math is on that because I'm terrible at math, but I can tell you right now, backers do not equal numbers. Jan Van. After the shipping and tax, Ghost was nearly $600. Dear goodness. Dear goodness. Falcon 23. That's crazy. If true, I would bet that the money that the classified Vamp Mark 1 production run was $10K. This stinger was at least $25K, maybe even more. That's possible. Grad 460. I bought the his tag separate sales, and it seems to have shown as 2 backers. I don't. Again, you're gonna have to correlate that somehow. I don't believe that's true, right? But again, we can argue that till the cows come home until Hasbro decides to let us actually know. But the term backers does not mean units. Because if you are a single backer, you can buy at least 2, maybe 3, maybe even 5, right? Again, I'm not going to argue with guys. I'm just saying what the logic is on that. Wild Dave, geek proud to you too, brother. All about the villains. You never know. Tomorrow's numbers might go up. This is possible. But it's highly doubtful. Usually when the Haslab numbers lock, it only goes up about 100 or 2. So we'll see what happens. Geek Proud, all about the villains. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're all doing well. Stay safe. As always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Good journey. Geek Proud, everybody. Congratulations to everybody who backed the Gunship. We'll see you soon, guys. Take care.